Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey, and I'm here today with a Facebook Live. I just noticed that my lamp was creating a real bright reflection, so I moved it. We'll see if that helped. So give me a minute. Let's see if we're online. And I think so, there we go. So if you're watching, leave me a message, and I'll try to catch you as I see you come up. So today we're going to do a card with the sunflower 3D. I posted some cards made with these, but I think I took them upstairs already. But this embossing folder is really pretty, and it's super detailed. I guess that's why they call it 3D, and plus it's one of the large ones, so you can make oversized patterns if you want. Now, I've been seeing so many pretty cards made with this where you put the ink all over your paper. Well, I tried and tried and tried to figure out, how I wanted to do it. And I watched a couple videos, and then I found one that I really liked with some helpful hints. And so I thought I'd share those hints with you too. So we're going to start with a piece of Very Vanilla. Make sure I got the right, I've got several pieces of it hanging around here. And we're going to put it in the embossing folder. Now, when we want to use the line to get this in here straight, and let's see, I want to make sure I have a nice variety of the flowers and the blank space, and we'll run this through the cut and emboss machine. Now you could put this going the other direction and get those flowers. That would look really pretty. I think we'll go with this one. Now, one thing I tried was putting the ink on the embossing folder. It just made a mess. I didn't like the way it came out at all. So this seems to work better to put the ink on your paper after you've already embossed it. Now you have this side that's embossed, but we're going to use the back side that's debossed. So it's the indented parts of the flowers. Now you are going to want to have a piece of paper, or you can let your desk get dirty. That's up to you, but it can get pretty messy. And we're going to use some of our browns. We're going to start with crumb cake. And the reason you want the paper is because you're going to start off of the cardstock. And the reason you want to do that is if you start on the cardstock, you'll have a line, an ink line that you won't like. And we're going to drag that there. Now, to me, it's easier. I'm right-handed to flip it over, and that won't matter. That's actually pretty like it is, isn't it? Let's see, we're going to have lots of ink hanging around here. So now we have pecan pie. Make sure you start off. Oh, I like this just like that. Isn't that pretty? This gives it that kind of wood grain like you've stamped on some of our wood grain papers. And now we'll use early espresso. Now see how you still get some of the other color, the other browns, even though you're using, they're still showing up, because you have absolutely no control over where this ink goes, except it's going on the paper. Isn't that gorgeous? It's actually pretty the way it is, but we're going to make our flower have some color. So we'll start with Daffodil Delight, our flowers. We used to have a bunch of sunflowers around here, and now we don't. We're going to use the daubers. Now, if you don't have these, they come in a pack of like 5 or 6. They are well worth getting. And you can just get a whole bunch and then keep them separate, so you keep all the yellows together and all the reds together. And we're just going to fill in our sunflower. Now you don't want to, fill it all in. You want to leave some of the very vanilla showing. Of course, you could make your sunflowers any color you want. I have seen orange and red sunflowers, haven't you? I guess those are a hybrid. Now, to me, this looks pretty with just a hint. You're not really coloring it all in. You're leaving your very vanilla to shine. I think that's pretty good. Now we'll do our leaves. Now, surprisingly, to me, when I used the Granny Apple Green, because of course I love that, it actually comes off more in the Old Olive family because it's mixing with the brown. But Old Olive would also look very pretty. Oh, that's a leaf there. This is actually the bottom part of a sunflower showing through, so it needs a little green there. Very pretty. Now we need some pumpkin pie. Or you could use the new Timid Tiger. That would be pretty. Oh, that one's a red one, so. And we'll just do the inside of our sunflower. My hands are not too bad. Yesterday they got really inky, and I'll show you why in a minute. Yeah, there's our pretty, beautiful sunflowers. Well, hi Trisha, thanks for popping in today. All right, here's our card front. Now I can flip this over. I don't want all that ink to get on my card. All the time I lay my cards on top of an ink pad. Makes me so upset. Now we're gonna mount this on some Very Vanilla because now it doesn't look very vanilla. Hi, Vicki. Thanks for popping in today. Let's see. And my thumb was there, so I need to get some Tombow in its place. I wish we had a stamp that matched this, but you know, there are some of the older stamps that you might have of the sunflowers that you could use for an embellishment or on the inside of a card or something. So we're going to put a sentiment here. I need to find my little piece for that. Let's see, I might need to just cut one. Thought for sure I had already cut it, but that doesn't mean anything, does it? Probably underneath an ink pad. So I'm going to let this be a birthday card. So I pulled Happy Birthday from Simply Said stamps. I think it says, no, it says birthday wishes. I already got, looks like I got ink on that, but well, that's okay because we're going to cut that off anyway. Maybe it's my fingers. Yeah. Now let's give this a little fishtail. This is a fun technique, especially if you like messy. Now I'm going to trim that off right next to that so we can make this into a label. And or it's more like I guess a tag. We'll punch a hole. And we're going to tie that on our card with some linen thread. Now, I like to wrap this around a couple times just because. And we'll let these hold that. See if we can tie a decent bow. Oops, I forgot. I forgot the tag. So that won't work, will it? So let's go ahead and tie this in a knot. Then we'll add the tag, and then we'll make a bow. See, oh, that's holding on there tight, isn't it? There we go. Let's poke this up there. Oh, I think we'll need to slide this up a tiny bit. Yeah, there we go. So we'll have room for our tag. Twine needs twine. This is a rustic card. And I think I will put a dimensional on under here. It'll hold it in place and it'll give it a little height. There we go. And now we're ready to put this on the front of our card. You see how that actually looks more like Old Olive here? I posted today that it's World Chocolate Day. I don't eat a whole lot of chocolate. It's pretty good, but ice cream is my favorite sweet, and it needs to just be vanilla, not chocolate ice cream. All right, there's our card. Actually, that doesn't take very long at all. You can make several of these all at one time. We'll put inside for our birthday. We'll probably try to find a sentiment that says something about time to celebrate. Okay, there's our card. That didn't take very long at all, because of course all the pieces were cut out. Maybe you could hire somebody to do that for you. So yesterday, I had seen people were talking about Patty Bennett using this embossing folder with the sunflowers. Demonstrators were posting about that. And she just embossed this Everyday Skies paper, and it looked pretty. But then I decided I would try it with the dragging the ink. Doesn't that look like tie-dyed t-shirts? I think so. I just used two colors on this, Night of Navy and Blueberry Bushel. And so you can see the difference of those two colors. of the blues. And then I just made this card. I think it will be my niece's birthday card. She loves tie-dyeing. She does it all the time. So I think that came out pretty too. I can't wait to try it with this piece. I think it'll be really interesting to see what happens. So here are our 2 cards. A traditional sunflower and tie-dyed sunflowers. Trish, your tie-dyed family members would like that, wouldn't they? Okay, thanks for joining me. I hope to... Oh, I do have to remind you, the end of this week on the 11th and 12th, Global Stampers will be on, and we're sharing celebrations, birthdays, babies, weddings, anything that's a celebration, we have a card for you. So I hope you will join us this coming Friday and Saturday, and I will post the graphic sometime this afternoon to remind you to do that. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.